Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Building CEOs. Kelley Raetzsch here, your warrior dietitian and non-diet dietitian in Fredericksburg, Virginia, over at 1910 William Street, where we're meeting every Tuesday morning at 8:30 to share business knowledge and network. Today, I'm excited that I get to present to you, and I have an awesome topic. Now I'm going to move away from the camera because my other audience is here, and this is who I'm going to be engaging with. I'll try to check in with you, though. So, I'm really excited to be with you all. As you heard, I'm a non-diet dietitian, and I help you get your energy, time, and life back by uncomplicating your relationship with food and your body. And today, our topic is going to be maximizing your team and business success with an attitude adjustment. So, pause right there. We've got leaders in here. We've got business owners in here, a lot of variety of people. I want to see a raise of hands for those of you who think that you're pretty confident in yourself and what you do. Anybody? I knew it. I knew we were going to have some hands go up. So as a business owner, I bet you are pretty confident in many ways. You're confident in your relationships in other ways. And today, the attitude adjustment I want you to be curious about is your attitude with food and your body. Really important topic to me because we have so much body shame happening in our culture, and a lot of dieting happening in our culture. And so I'm going to give you 4 things today that I want you to focus on. We're going to focus on your relationship with the scale, your relationship with food, your relationship with movement, and then Lynn's favorite, kindness and compassion. All right, so you'll see here that I have a scale with me. Who wants to come step on this scale and see what it says about you today? Anybody? Any takers? It's just a joke, actually, but I do appreciate your volunteering. I love it. We had a volunteer. So this scale is actually going to get smashed to smithereens in the next couple of weeks during Southern Smash. So I'm just going to provide a little example. I bet you probably would have done this great. So what happens, ladies, first thing in the morning? Where's that bathroom? Where's that scale? I just said it. It's in the bathroom, right? So many of us have a scale in the bathroom. And what do? First thing we roll out of bed? We don't check our mindset. We go right here. We take a look down, and we either say, oh, shiz nizzles, or woohoo, right? And if we're in the oh, shiz nizzles group, how does that set our mindset for the day? Negative, absolutely. We're not focused on the good things that we have set before us for the day. We have let this POS, inanimate object, now control our mind, right? Whether it's a good mindset or a bad mindset. So if you have one of these at home, my first tip for you today in adjusting your attitude, you got it. Where's the trash can? Sorry, stay with me here, Monty. All right. Put it in the trash can. It doesn't tell you anything about your worth, your value, what you have to offer as an entrepreneur or business owner. So get rid of it. In that also, the way that you're going to maximize your business success in this conversation is in your head, whether you're a team of one or a team of many. So if you stepped on that scale and you came into your office and you shared with everybody, Rachel, guess what? You'll never believe it. I'm down 5 pounds. Yay! Yet Rachel can't lose a single pound, and she internalizes that and now feels frustrated. And now she feels negative about herself because she's not losing weight, right? And now you are put on a pedestal, not you necessarily, but glorifying weight loss, glorifying a number on the scale. And when we do that, a negative tape starts playing in our head, a negative story. Well, I'll be a better business owner if I just lose 5 more pounds. You might not think that outright, but when it comes down to it, when you peel back the layers of the onion, that's what's happening. You think that you're going to be better if you could just have a smaller body, if you could just be thinner, if you could just be more beautiful, if you could just have the right hair color, right? That's not where your confidence needs to come from, right? We have to be very careful about how we're treating ourselves in that way when it comes to the number on the scale. It's dieting season right now. Biggest Loser is one of my biggest horror stories. There's so much fat shaming, body shaming that comes out of the Biggest Loser, yet just in our own community, how many Biggest Loser competitions are going on right now? And what that is doing is setting people up against each other for a number on the scale, for body weight, shape, and size. We are more valuable as human beings than the number on the scale, right? And we talk about diversity. How many of us in here look exactly the same, are from the same place, have the same nationality? There's a lot of diversity in here. And what we're missing out on in the workplace is body diversity. We're not accepting a variety of body sizes. None of us look the same in here. None of us have the same weight, shape, and size. Yet, we put the people down who are in larger bodies. We don't treat them the same way. And then what happens? On the outside, they keep it together. Possible I might cry, y'all, because I take this really personally for the clients that I treat. Women come into me daily telling me stories about how they've been shamed at their doctor's office because they're not somebody who actually is coming presenting with problems if they're in a larger body. Some of you in here have privilege. You have thin privilege. Some of us have different types of privileges, whether it's money, the color of our skin, but some of you who are in smaller bodies have what's called thin privilege. We could go in for the same issue, let's say knee problems. I have knee problems. So if we go in, yet I have a bigger body than you, guess what they're going to blame my knee problem on?
Your weight.
My weight. Not the fact that I've been an athlete for a very long time. I've had 3 knee surgeries, and I continue to remain active. Right? They're going to look at my weight, the BMI, which y'all forgive me. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it live. Y'all need to hear this. Everybody needs to hear this. Anybody know what BMI stands for?
Body mass index.
You are all wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. I'm not usually about telling people that they're wrong, but it stands for the bullshit measurement index.
I love that.
It is a useless number when it comes to our health. It was developed by a mathematician. Okay? So I want you to really be thinking about your attitude towards the scale. Maybe you weigh yourself daily, multiple times a day. Yes, I have clients who weigh themselves 6 times a day, playing games with themselves. Right? Yes. So if you're weighing and if your worth is based on the scale, if you think you're becoming a better person or having a better life because of the number on the scale, I need you to consider an attitude adjustment. Take it and toss it. Or bring it to me at the campus of University of Mary Washington so we can smash it with our sledgehammers on February 26th. That would be good too. Any questions about the scale? All right, let's move on to point number 2. I present to you Exhibit A and Exhibit B. This is the fun part for me. When you all see Exhibit A, what comes to mind? Shout it out.
Healthy.
Health.
Fruit and veg.
What was that?
Fruit and veg.
Fruit and veg.
They're on a diet.
They're on diet, yep.
Dinner.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
Low calorie.
Low calorie, okay. What about Exhibit B? Brought to you from our local Freddy Donuts. If you would like to take a closer look. I present to you the Samoa Donuts. The Samoa Donut. Okay. What comes to mind when you see the Samoa Donut? Oh no! I didn't do that. The Samoa Donut. It landed right side up, Donella.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right, what are your thoughts when you see the donut?
Unhealthy. Delicious.
Yummy, unhealthy, delicious. Lynn, what were you going to say?
Girl Scouts.
Girl Scouts, yeah. Through the Samoan, it looks like one.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Any other thoughts?
Too much sugar.
Too much sugar? Okay. So, a little bit more judgment on this poor little donut here than the fruit and vegetable, right? Some of it kind of has some negative connotation. So point number 2 in adjusting your attitude so you can maximize your business success is your attitude with food. I would love for you all to see, you nailed it, James.
Jason.
Why? I've been calling you James.
You call me Jason.
Oh, okay, well, you know, maybe that's what camera does to you, gets you nervous and you call people by the wrong name. Jason, nailed it. He observed fruit and vegetable. That's a very non-judgmental statement, right? He could have said yellow bell pepper. Observe and describe. What is this? Donut. It's a donut. It does not make you a better person. It does not make you a worse person. It does not make you healthy or unhealthy. I just saw some funny eyes come across. That was good. That's exactly what I was expecting. So as a non-diet dietitian, my role is to empower people to have healthy eating patterns that allow them to eat the foods they love without guilt and without deprivation. Now, there are some folks medically they need to eat differently. Gluten-free maybe, right? Maybe they have a peanut allergy. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about medical things related to food. I'm talking about just food and being able to enjoy it and enjoy it with peace. So let's say you're at your office, whether you're a person of one or many on your team, and you have a dozen or 2 donuts, and you have a fruit platter. What goes through your mind when you see those 2 options? Lynn's laughing. I'm not sure what that.
I want both,
Okay.
but I might be judged if I take the donut, so I'm gonna take the other and not have the donut.
Why might you be judged if you took the donut?
Because I'm not thin.
Because she's not thin. She nailed it. Lived experience right here.
Mm-hmm.
I want you all to hear that. This is valuable. Other thoughts that come up if you see a fruit platter versus 2 dozen donuts.
If I think about my health, then I'll go with the fruit
Okay.
and veggies or whatever.
Okay.
But when you think more, they both may have the same amount of sugar.
Okay. Possibly.
So, but then in my mind, I feel better if I have fruit.
But what if you really wanted the donut?
I would probably have. I don't like donuts, so I probably.
Well,
just
that didn't work.
Well, okay. There is that.
There's that. Imagine your favorite sweet breakfast food. Right, so we have different feelings that are coming up about it. So the people that I work with oftentimes are going to see this, say I shouldn't have it. That's kind of what you were alluding at. I shouldn't have it. Y'all need to stop shouldn't on yourself. That's messy. Okay? Got some chuckles over there. That's good. Stop shouldn't on yourself. If I say I shouldn't have this, but I eat it anyway, how do I feel about myself?
Guilt.
Yeah.
I feel guilty.
Guilt. And how do I feel the rest of the day?
Guilty.
Guilty. You feel bad about yourself.
Feel bad about myself. And where's my focus? Is my focus on my task at hand, trying to work on my business, meet the needs of my clients, or am I am I ruminating on that bad decision and thinking about how much exercise I need to do to burn that darn thing off, right? So how does that feel? Does that feel like that's going to lead you to success in your business mind, or is it going to keep you trapped in a cycle of overconsumption of thought?
Waste of time.
Waste of time, absolutely. We've nailed it. Waste of time, absolutely. We got a partnership here coming, I think. We're going to tag team, we're going to, I like it. Yeah, it's a waste of time to worry about it. Now, am I saying don't worry about your health and eat donuts all the time? No. I'm saying there's a balance. And when we use that scale, we then turn our relationship to food, right? Because we got to fix what's wrong that we see on the scale. So then we turn to food and exercise. So it's going to take us into our exercise component next, our movement component. But with food, what do? Do we turn internally to figure things out or externally?
Externally, food is comfort.
Externally. We turn external. So we either look for control. We got to fix our weight, control our weight, got to get it under control. Or we just kind of ignore hunger and fullness and we start to eat in response to our emotions instead of using other healthy coping mechanisms. And so that's not a healthy relationship with food in your body. And so with that, that's called deprivation-driven eating, and that's exactly what diets do. Can anybody tell me what the first 3 letters of diet spell?
Die.
Y'all are so smart. It spells die. If anybody in here take medication? Probably somebody does. If your doctor prescribed you a medication that had a 95% failure rate, would you take it?
No.
Why not?
Waste of time.
Waste of time. The statistics for diets, y'all, 95%. 95% of diets fail. So why are we prescribing them? Why are we chasing a number on the scale? At what cost? We lose relationships. We lose our mental clarity. We lose energy. We lose time. We have more to do with our lives than be worried about the number on the scale. So I want you to try to think about your attitude about that. So attitude about the scale, attitude about food, attitude about movement. So I mentioned before we started that I'm a group fitness instructor. I'm also a cycling instructor at the YMCA here in town. And that's why I'm in the attire I'm in, because I'm ready to go after this to go do a group strength training class. And there was a time in my life in college where I wanted to be the woman on the cover of Muscle and Fitness for Her. I wanted to have all the muscles. I wanted to have the six-pack. I wanted to have every muscle defined and look shiny too. It wasn't until I started working in the field of eating disorders that I realized, what am I chasing? Like, why am I spending so much time trying to be something that I'm not? I'm naturally very strong, but I'm never going to look like her, and that's not who I am. And you know what? That's okay. how many of us now view movement, and notice I'm saying movement and not exercise, movement as something that we have to do to burn calories and lose weight? Does that make exercise fun or movement fun? If it's just about the calories and just about trying to get the perfect body? No. So I want you to be thinking about your attitude towards movement and having an adjustment there and allowing it to be fun. Now, some might call me weird because I actually do really love lifting weights, and I love to see how heavy I can push the bench press, right? It used to be squat, but now with my knee, we don't do that. But for me, that's fun, and I love getting on my bike until I tip it over when it's stationary. Y'all can see that post later. That was
I saw that.
I still have a scratch on my leg from that. So movement needs to be fun. Are you more likely to do something consistently if it's fun or if you hate showing up for it?
If it's done.
If it's fun,
Yeah.
right? How many memberships go unused, gym memberships go unused because people just don't like the gym? Or because they feel ashamed of their bodies going in, right? Like, I'm too big, people are going to judge me and say, you should be here because you're overweight, you should be exercising.
Or why aren't you here more often?
Yeah, absolutely. There's lots of judgments. And so when you are so consumed, and this happens regardless of your body weight, shape, and size. Thin people, in between, really large, there is body shame all around. It's not limited to a certain size, and it's not limited to women. It's men too. Men sometimes see it a little bit different when it comes to body image because there's this idea that men need to be big and burly and strong, and if you're not, then there's that. So finding things that you truly enjoy. Like my family enjoys going outdoors and hiking, right? Patty and I went on a walk. Y'all, if you ever do time with Patty and you go on a walk, she's not in here right now, but she can attest to this. She's a fast walker, y'all. You just better have your walking shoes on and be ready to go because she had me huffing and puffing at the end of it. Finding things that make you excited. And maybe it's social. Maybe you do better like on a sports team that's just really fun where you can engage socially. So you have to think about how you're viewing yourself and are you shaming yourself or judging yourself. Exercise, and I'm going to shit on y'all right now. Exercise should not be for punishment because you ate the Samoa donut from Freddy Donuts. That's not a healthy relationship with food, body, and movement, right? Nor should it be to earn the right to eat that donut, right? How do you feel about yourself if you eat the donut but don't exercise? I need to get back on track. I need to get going again. And so you get caught in this negative feedback loop. You're telling yourself this negative story about your weight and your body and your shape. You got to stop that story, okay? The last thing is compassion and kindness, which has kind of been sprinkled throughout all of this. You know, in the Bible, in Colossians 3:12, it tells us to, as the elect and holy of God, to put on compassion and kindness. And I'm pretty sure that's not meant just to give Nate compassion and kindness, or Jason, or Lynn, or Donella. I'm pretty sure that we need to do that for ourselves too. How hard are we on ourselves and our mind if we're not the right number on the scale, if we're not the right body shape or size? So compassion is, do I want that donut or do I want some fruit? I really want the donut, but I should have the fruit because if I don't, then I'm going to gain weight. But I really want the donut. What do y'all think I would say? Eat the dang donut. Show yourself compassion. You're not going to have a change in your body weight, shape, and size if you eat a donut. And even if you did, so what? What does that really mean? Your health is not your weight. Your weight is not your health. We've got a few life coaches in here, and they would probably tell you there's a lot more to health than the number on the scale. We got to think about our mental health, and that's what I'm trying to encompass here today, is your mental health, your mental attitude around food and your body. So your homework is to think about these 4 things, and then I'm going to give you a website that I want you to consider going to, and I will personally give you some feedback on your responses. But you have to assess your attitude about the scale. Is it controlling and consuming your life? If it is, you got to ditch it. You got to get rid of it. It's not worth it. Think about your attitude towards food. Are you labeling it good and bad, or is food food? Is it neutral? Does it have a neutral place in your life? If not, I want you to really consider adjusting your attitude and seeing food as all foods fit. Unconditional permission to eat is a principle of intuitive eating that I teach. It's a hard one for many people to grasp because we live in a fat-phobic nation that pushes diets, pushes diets, pushes diets. But when you have unconditional permission to eat, you come up to that fruit platter and the donut, and you say, I really like donuts, but you know what? Fruit sounds really great today. No judgment, you move on. The donut's not consuming you the rest of the day because you didn't have it, right? The third thing is to assess your attitude with movement. Are you doing it to give yourself permission to eat or punish yourself for eating? Or are you moving because you care for your body? That's what I would encourage you. Move to care for your body, not because you hate it. And then lastly, show yourself compassion and kindness. The website I'd love for you guys to go to wrap this up, if you would like to assess where you are on the intuitive eating scale, is bit.ly/eat with a capital E, assessment with a capital A. So bit.ly/eat assessment, capital E, capital A. That's important because it's case sensitive. I'm Kelley Raetzsch, your non-diet dietitian, helping you find freedom from food, body, and weight obsessions. Thank you. Yay! Who wants a donut?